The following review is intended for entertainment purposes and targeted for adult fans of the series.
The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers fought the Putties in 2030 billion and 2040 billion. Hello there, heroes. I'm the Orange Ranger, and welcome to another Power Rangers Beast Morphers 2.0 episode review. The 14th episode of Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel was Sheriff Skyfire, where the eponymous space sheriff, using footage from a metal hero, Jiraiya, was tricked into fighting the Rangers before helping them with a common foe. And actually, looking into it, that episode aired basically this weekend 2 years ago. But why besides that is that coming to mind suddenly now? Let's take a look at the 10th episode of Power Rangers Beast Morphers 2.0, Intruder Alert. Please make sure you're subscribed to my channel to see all of my videos. Ring the bell, get your notifications set up so you're notified whenever I post brand new videos. And if you'd like to lend any financial support to my channel, please consider checking me out on Patreon or Ko-fi at Orange Ranger Videos. So that lightning bolt that I was so impressed by last week is apparently just a thing now. We don't have last time on Power Rangers this time. We just get the lightning bolt and then we're at Grid Battle Force headquarters. The episode starts kind of en medias res, which is a little bit annoying as I'm about to explain. Nate asks the other Rangers if they remember that strange message that they picked up a couple of weeks ago.
No one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
This gets worse when Zoe confirms that he's talking about the message that came from deep space. It feels like something like that is something that the audience should get to share in the surprise of, with the Rangers at the very least, if not everybody. If this isn't something we get to see happen, maybe it's something that Joanne was working on, and she's just finished, and now she's sharing the results with the Rangers. Anyway, Nate has decoded the message and plays it. It is a warning from someone that a criminal named Ryjack is coming to Earth to steal Ranger valuables from Grid Battle Force's famed vault.
Uh-oh, we're in trouble.
Devin says they'll need to be on guard, and Commander Shaw says she'll assign extra security to the vault. Ben and Betty volunteer.
No. They
feed her some garbage about their dad dieting and them guarding the cookie jar. And I mean, as someone who is currently trying, and being brutally honest with myself here, failing to diet at the moment, I do understand how that can be. But you have an intergalactically known criminal coming to steal your stuff. Put your best people on this. But no, she of course agrees.
No, I don't think that's a good idea. No, I don't think so.
Speaking of Joanne, she calls Shaw to tell her that she has indeed detected an alien life sign near a Morph-X facility, stealing the Morph-X. So the Rangers head out to put a stop to that. Arriving at the facility, they see a creature that doesn't really look like an alien life form, more like a sleek silver robot or a cyborg. They demand that the creature stop stealing the Morph-X. It takes a step towards a device attached to the Morph-X, but the Rangers tell them to stop, and it speaks some kind of weird alien language that none of them can understand. It takes another step towards the device, so the Rangers shoot this time, but before Devin can take whatever this is into custody, it teleports away. Nate takes the device, saying he'll put it in the Ranger vault. Meanwhile, in the Crystals Are Cool dimension, Evox confirms that being bonded to Mayor Daniel's human DNA has done permanent damage to his virus. Apparently the cure is just more Morph-X. What is this, like a cold? The cure is to feed it? However, Scrozzle points out a problem there. They are 100% fresh out of Morph-X. So not only is there none for Evox, besides what he's finishing up drinking with his hair as they're talking, they can't even teleport out. Alrighty, who ordered the Deus Ex Machina in the form of an Australian rhinoceros? Ryjack appears, honored to meet the great Evox, and proposing an alliance. You see, Ryjack claims to be a weapons collector. Sorry, dude, I know what a real weapons collector looks like.
A useful coward, at least.
Time for more anniversaryizing, if that's a word, which it's not, because Ryjack has heard about the legendary Ranger Vault at Grid Battle Force and wants to get his hands on some of those legendary Ranger weapons and technology. Evox is all too happy for Ryjack to take them, but says first they have to deal with the Power Rangers, tossing Vargoyle's old blaster over to Ryjack and saying if they don't, he's going to end up just like the owner of that blaster, vaporized. Ready for a curveball though? Ryjack has a neat little trick, a reanimation gun that can revive anyone after zapping something that person has touched. He zaps the gun and revives Vargoyle. I did not see that coming. Vargoyle now sports a gold suit, and thanks to a compliance collar around his neck, is totally subservient to Ryjack. The two of them teleport out to score some Morph-X, with Evox evilly confirming to Scrozzle that they're going to betray Ryjack as soon as he succeeds. Ben and Betty set up a wire trap with marbles, but stupidly try to leave the room and trip themselves.
That was a great scene.
As the Rangers help them up to get them some medical attention, we see the mysterious silver dude, who we now know is not Ryjack, teleport in behind some shelves and just watch them. The Rangers run in and catch the mysterious silver person, but Shaw calls and says that there are more alien life signs in the city. The Beastbots come in because the plot demanded that they do. This is the first time we're seeing Smash and Jax since the show's been back, and they take this whatever silver thing it is to a holding cell. However, before they leave the room, we see them cast a worried look, for lack of a better term, at the device. At a nearby construction site, Vargoyle brings Ryjack a barrel of Morph-X, which Ryjack teleports to Evox. Okay, good. Plot convenience has been established. The villains get another gasp of Morph-X. The Rangers show up, surprised to see Vargoyle, and confused when Ryjack introduces himself. So who are they holding on to? But let me tell you folks why I say...
Don't even worry about it!
You see, Ryjack's reanimating gun has another interesting little trick to it. He fires it to either side of him, and a group of Vivix from Dino Charge show up, and a group of Putty Patrollers from You Do Not Need Me to Tell You Where They're From show up. I'm serious here. The Rangers don't know what either of these things are, which kind of makes sense for the outer dimensional Vivix, but while I do understand that the Putty Patrollers attacked Earth before any of these Rangers were even born...
Excuse me, the f*** did you just say?
Yeah, as decrepit as those words make me feel, the Putty Patrollers attacked Earth 26 to 27 years ago, and I highly doubt that any of these Rangers were alive when that happened. Anyway, the point I was trying to get to was that at least the Putties are from this dimension and were on this Earth. If Mayor Daniels knew who Rita was, I find it very unlikely that Grid Battle Force doesn't know what the Putties are.
Get on with it!
No, you get on with it, MPG. This is deep cut reference material, and it needs to be handled with a little friggin' care. Okay, I may have gotten a touched worked up about that. I apologize. Except actually, maybe I didn't get too worked up about it because even the monster lectures them. When Steel goes, no, seriously, what are those things? Ryjack says that Vivix and Putties have been fighting the Rangers for years. They need a history lesson.
After further review,
this statement is only true in the strictest actual sense. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers fought the Putties in 1993 and 1994, fighting the Z Putties later on in 1994. The Dino Charge Rangers fought the Vivix in 2015 and 2016. Of course, this is assuming that the show's airing schedule corresponds to its timeline, which I actually don't believe it does. A better statement, and I'm going to try to go with Ryjack's accent on this one, would be something like, "Come on, blokes. These is Putties and Vivix, two of the best among foot soldiers been fought in the ranges for years." Nerd! You say that like it's a bad thing, Homer. Devin says he'll make Ryjack history and the team morphs. After a short fight, nitpicky little side note here, I really wish that the Putties had that stone tink sound when they got hit. We get a rare reminder of this team's animal DNA powers, as Robbie throws Ryjack into the air, and then Zoe leaps up high and kicks Ryjack into a dirt pile.
A boot to the head.
A what? Ow!
Impressed, Ryjack decides to show off his special power, firing a bolt from his horn that encases the two in green energy and does something to their power. Oh no, their power!
Something's happening to it!
The monsters leave and the Rangers rush back to base. In a moment that feels really ripped from the headlines despite being filmed months before any of this went down, Nate places isolation shields, basically big clear face masks, on Nate and Zoe since they might be dealing with a mysterious illness. The two Rangers are wearing face masks to avoid spreading an illness. Gotta love the Rangers setting good examples. Devin remembers their mysterious prisoner and thinks maybe they can help. Nate is doubtful, but Commander Shaw authorizes the attempt, and the three of them head over to the cell. When they go inside, they find that the prisoner has collapsed. Steele brought the doodad along with him, and when they see it, they start reaching out for it. Devin follows his gut and decides to give it to the prisoner, who attaches it to his mouth like a mouthpiece. He seems to absorb the Morph-X from inside, and this not only revives them, but allows them to activate a universal translator.
Unclean, giant, bag of mostly water.
Our silver friend, who I am so glad to not have to come up with ways to refer to vaguely anymore, is Captain Chaku of the G5 Galactic Police Force. And yes, let's just get this out of the way. As my introduction to this video hinted, this is another one of the Metal Heroes, Space Sheriff Gavan. In fact, the name Chaku comes from Gavan's transformation phrase, Joe Chaku. He's a little ticked off about the treatment, but the Rangers explain about getting the warning and how they didn't really understand him. As I finally remember to turn my camera's light on, Chaku says that he has crossed 7 galaxies looking for Ryjack, and I call both lies and flim-flam. I already used the Homer nerd gag bit, but the diameter of the Milky Way galaxy is just over 100,000 light years. I get that these are superheroes with amazing powers, but 7 galaxies? I actually looked up a calculator for this. The Enterprise D from Star Trek The Next Generation, traveling at warp 9.9, 3,029 times the speed of light, would take just over 33 years to cross the entire Milky Way galaxy. 7 galaxies? These are either tiny epic galaxies, or Chaku is far older than we think. When Devin explains that 2 of the Rangers have already been taken down by one of Ryjack's attacks, Chaku asks if it was a blast from Ryjack's horn. When Devin confirms this, Chaku says that the 2 don't have much time left to survive and they need to hurry. Examining the 2, he says he does have a cure, but he's not sure that it'll work on humans. He lets them breathe in some, Vicks vapors, and we actually get to wait to see if that does work. Back over in the Crystals are Super Neato dimension, Scrozzle reloads the Morph-X and recreates Robo-Blaze and Robo-Roxy, and they get caught up on everything going on. Ryjack wants to go hit the Ranger Vault, but Evox says first he needs to send Vargoyle to take out the rest of the Rangers, and Scrozzle needs to send a Gigadrone to get more Morph-X. Back at the base, Nate says that the sickly Rangers are improving. Joanne updates everyone on the situation, and Commander Shaw orders Nate and Steele to go inform their Megazord to deal with the Gigadrone, and asks Devin to deal with Vargoyle one-on-one. I mean, hey, that's worked once before, right? But no, this time Chaku volunteers to go along, and Devin accepts. They find Vargoyle in a parking garage and fight. As you might have guessed, Devon eventually slashes off Vargoyle's compliance collar, freeing him from Ryjack's control. He tries to teleport away, but he doesn't have any Morph-X to do so, so he steals a motorcycle and flees that way. Ranger and Sheriff finish off the grunts, just Tronics this time, and give chase. They're going to need some wheels, so Cruz shows up and Devon offers Chaku a ride. However, Chaku's got his own set of wheels, summoning a motorcycle with a weird-looking sidecar thing called the Galactic Interceptor. They have some three-way on-wheels combat for a bit before Chaku knocks Vargoyle to the ground. He pulls a sword out of his arm, a la Rancic, but more mechanical, I guess. And they fight for a little bit before the two heroes power up sword slashes and Vargoyle is destroyed yet again. What's that? Oh, yeah, right, the Zord fight. Nate and Steel form the Striker Megazord and immediately blow up the Gigadrone.
That was a great scene.
Back at the base, the two sickly Rangers are now completely cured, cared for by Nate and Commander Shaw. The episode drops a little bit of a moral of the day about not judging people prematurely, but it fits in with the Ranger action and it's not too heavy-handed, so it was fine by me. Believe it or not, so was the comedy stinger. Ben and Betty have invented a new security system for the vault that will tie up anyone that's not wearing one of their nifty new security badges. But as they activate it, the others all realize that none of them are wearing the new security badges, and everyone gets tied up. Yes, including Chaku. Commander Shaw says something that she rarely ever says. Ben and Betty, good work. I mean, it worked. The system worked completely as advertised, and once everybody gets those new badges, it'll work just fine. I've actually been testing out a brand new shade throwing system. I'm just kidding, it's the same one it's always been. Don't mess with success. Episode 10, Intruder Alert. Pros, Chaku is a creative use of interesting Sentai footage. The episode fits in a lot of action and more nostalgic nods. Cons, Vargoyle's return is pretty wasted, wrap up is a touch anticlimactic, and I want my putty tink clink sounds, dang it! This was a quality episode, and it feels like more is on the way. Intruder Alert gets 4 shades out of 5. A villain that comes from a team-up episode special of Sentai is carrying over into another episode of Power Rangers? Well, maybe the helping hero will be on hand as well. Let's take a peek at the 11th episode of Power Rangers Beast Morphers 2.0.
The greater good.
The Rangers join forces with their newest ally to stop an impending threat, hoping to get them back to their family. Well, looks like we're in for another episode of Gallantry. That's going to do it for another Power Rangers Beast Morphers 2.0 episode review. Thank you, heroes, so much as always for watching. Now that the video's done, you can let me know what you thought of this episode, as well as my review of it, down in the comments below. And while you're down there, make sure you smack that thumbs up button and let me know that you enjoyed this video. Until next time, heroes, may the power protect you. He tosses the monster an old blaster and revives Gargoyle. Ready for a curveball, though? He has a... The Rangers show up, confused at who... At a nearby construction site, Vargoyle brings somebody. So, who are the... God dang it. Our silver friend, who I am really glad to not have to keep coming up with ways to refer to vaguely, the diameter of our milk... As I finally remember to turn my camera's light on, Oh, by the way, I'm just kidding. It's the same one it's always been. Don't mess with success. Don't mess with... I'm gonna slice that off and...